Anyway, Zephyr, what do we have?
Hello. We have a thing that I made because he held me at gunpoint.
I literally I was saying this earlier. The only reason this exists is because I forced Zephyr to feed my addiction to D&D.
Yeah, no, I am being held against my will.
We are all explorers today.
Yeah, no,
I will let it be stated for the record that I'm not held against my will. I'm simply here because I want to.
Well, Mickey has my address if you want to come save me. So, but yeah.
I'll post it in Twitch chat. I got you.
Thank you. Welcome to the Adventurers Academy, or Myrmidon Academy. It is very much homebrew. It's going to be a bit more of a laid-back campaign, a bit more chill, with a little bit of chaos sprinkled in, for shits and giggles. But we're gonna introduce the people. We're gonna say hi. We're gonna see what we got. We've got Malachi, who's
Hi.
playing a centaur.
I'm playing a centaur. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
That's all we've
Enjoy.
got. We have Mickey playing Zakaria.
All right. Zakaria is a tiefling sorcerer badass. That's what we'll say.
Basically. We have Mahez playing Greet.
And Malachi's the reason why I can't make horse prostitute jokes this session.
Pretty much.
Hello.
And finally, we have Seb playing Sverkr.
I am a Durgar. I hope I pronounced that correctly, because who the fuck knows how to pronounce that word?
The one called Sverkr. I've tried to learn how to pronounce it properly over several days, and I'm pretty sure I'm still getting it wrong.
And a little bit, it's Sverkr.
Sverkr. Alright, can't wait for me to get that wrong in half an hour.
Honestly,
I'm
I
guaranteeing
lost
we're
him,
all
right?
going to get it wrong at several
Yeah.
points during the
I
session.
don't,
That's kind
I
of the
don't even
point.
give you that long.
It's kind of the point.
But
try to pronounce his last name as well.
no. No.
Wilkinson?
You dare insult his great father?
Yes. What are you gonna do? I'm the DM, I hold all the power here. But yeah, so let's get right into it, because this story opens up in a faraway academy ground, a campus ground, in between two mountains that stand tall, their peaks breaking the clouds. A great and noble building that has stood for hundreds of years. Within, students studying, laughing, doing all kinds of stupid things. Several of which we will learn to meet across the course of the next couple of years of study. Down below in the valley beyond the academy, we have the town of Silverbark. A town very simple in make but honorable in its heritage, that often recruits the help of a lot of adventurers from the academy who help them out in all manner of tasks and dealing with slimes and zombies. But we join ourselves with some new graduates of the school who have earned their stripes in studying over the past couple of years at the Myrmidon Academy. And now they will find themselves learning the skills of becoming true adventurers. Or dying in the process, whatever comes first. We start by joining our first of the students. A tiefling, new to magic, making their way to class. Mickey, if you would introduce Zakaria to us, and why you're late.
Okay. All right. So Zakaria is, just like a regular sized kind of tiefling, not too small, not too large, isn't very strong looking, but has like an intimidation kind of about them. Like they've got like a swagger to them. And they're walking through. Like, so are they? Do I have to tell like y'all why you're late, or am I like?
Yeah. Why are you late? Why are you late to your first class of the year?
Okay. Why am I late to the first class of the year? I couldn't find all of the special, like all of my belongings that I needed for class, so
Okay.
that's why I'm late.
So we join Zakaria, who has been sorted, I believe, into House Ember. So you wake up in your common room, which is, for lack of a better term, the heart of a volcano. You know, your house is of the flame, and so will be your dwelling. You have a stone bed, which is enchanted to be comfortable. You were surprised on your first night just how comfortable this sort of black stone would be. This sort of pillow chiseled into the stone feels as soft as any other wood. And for you especially, considering you've spent so much time growing up on the streets, you're surprised that stone could be this comfortable. That a volcano would feel so delicate and safe. And as you sort of look around, you find your books, but you struggle to find a very particular item to you. Please make us the first roll. Roll investigation.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm rolling, but my computer is really slow, so it's probably gonna be a minute or two.
And that's okay. That's okay. We have time.
I also apologize in advance for any coughing that you're gonna hear from my end. I'm doing my best to block out as much of it as possible.
He has
you're-
the plague.
Yes.
How'd
I
you
knew
know
I
what the
should have
plot of
played.
episode 5 was gonna be?
I knew I should have played Plague Doctor. Fucking love Plague
Okay,
Doctors, man.
okay, we're getting close. We're getting close.
We're getting
Okay, I
there.
rolled a 15.
15? Okay. Now,
Yeah.
so after a little bit of digging, you go into this sort of wardrobe-like chest that you have at the end of your room, and you open it, and in the corner, buried beneath clothes and old books from last year that you don't need, but you're too lazy at the moment to get rid of, you see a little sort of maybe size of the hand, a bit larger in your hands considering your size, a topaz rock, sort of perfectly carved, smooth edges, the only thing you have from home. You grab it, and you sort of tuck it away, and you hear down the halls and amongst the roaring of lava geysers and eruptions, the bell for the chariot that has just left to go to the academy. In a different room, in the same common, we hear the clopping of hooves as a young centaur awakens from their slumber. Malachi, introduce your character. And why have you missed the chariot? Why are you late this morning?
I had a very, very late night the previous night. Very astutely studying, and practicing that which I have learnt so far. Probably a little too eager to learn, stayed up much, much later than I had anticipated.
And you're sort of moving around your room, getting your things together, cleaning up, and you two hear the bell ringing as the chariot takes off and leaves the volcano that is your new home. What would you like to do?
Damn it. Come on, Zakaria. This will be the only time I allow this. Hop on. He's gonna look actively annoyed.
Wait! You're gonna let me ride you? Is that what's about to happen?
Just
Because
hop
that's
on.
what I was
this-
gonna make happen.
This
Okay,
will
hold on,
only
I'm sorry.
happen once. I swear it. Reduced to this
All right.
already.
I really don't want to do this as much as you don't want to do this, but we can't be late.
No, we
And
cannot.
Zakaria climbs on.
And
Alright.
as a steadfast steed, I will race out of the commons and after the chariot.
Roll me athletics.
Athletics.
No, okay. Yeah.
I can absolutely do that.
I was preparing myself for having to convince you to let me do this.
That is a 21.
So you're able to ride out, and you sort of go through the main common room. You sort of ride out to this sort of runway almost. You can see a load of Pegasi, beginning to fly and take off with the chariot. You can see a couple of your roommates getting ready for the day, and you are able to just get caught as a vortex opens up in front. This sort of giant glowing sphere, in which you can see a reflection of the Myrmidon Academy. And both you and Zakaria will feel yourselves being pulled in, and this sort of force, almost like you're being pulled out of your body, and you are teleported. On the other side of the globe, deep in the caverns, deep in the caves, with crystals and geodes lighting the roof like a night sky, we join a little dwarf, deep in slumber, amidst the twinkling and the ever so slight echoes of bats. Seb, introduce your character, and why are you late this morning?
Fucking elves. I am sleeping. I am a Durgar, so I do not like the lights. I prefer being up during the night when I have to spend time outdoors. This sadly leads to, let's say, overstaying my waking hours, which severely cuts into sleep.
Roll me
That
a
is why I am late.
constitution check.
Oh boy. Check or save?
Straight con. Just straight
Straight
con.
con. Yeah, straight con. Road trip. 18.
Okay. You, in your deep slumber, relaxed, calm, nice hard rock beneath you, breath slow and gentle. You know, you're in your dream and you hear this ringing. You shake it off and you hear it again and again and again, and eventually you are stirred. Your eyes forced open, your books in your bag laying out across the floor as you hear the bell ringing as the chariot that will take you to school is getting ready to leave.
Mm. Get my hands on that bell. It doesn't ring quite right. It's clearly some kind of manufacturing problem with it. Mm. What was that bell about again? Oh shit! I'm going to grab my stuff and run with my stubby little legs.
You make your way through the caves, through the common rooms, past the little breakfast bar that you've missed out on this morning, and you do see the chariot very quickly making speed and getting ready to go to school. You've one chance to try and catch it. What will you do?
Now this. Now this is gonna be a problem. I don't know if I don't think I have anything that will help me here, sadly. Well then.
Always something.
Always something. How far ahead of me would you say it is?
At the moment, about 50 feet, but it's making pace quite quickly.
Okay. This is going to be. Oh no, this is. I have 50 feet of rope. I'm going to shock it, like, trying to like, while holding on to one end of it, of course. Actually, I might want to tie the end around my wrist and then just, shock the rope and hoping that either the rope will get caught on something or someone in the chariot will notice this and actually grab rope. Actually, I'm going to yell out, like, not anything in particular, just fucking yell as I throw the rope and hopefully it will reach.
Roll me a sleight
I'm
of
still.
hand.
Oh boy. Sleight of hand, I am not terrible at oh fuck. That's a 9.
You toss your rope, you tie it around your wrist, being a maker, a creator, you're able to tie this rope quite well. You throw it! And as you throw the rope, it soars through the air. It gets caught on one of the wheels. The chariot sort of tugs, the wheel comes flying off, and it goes through the portal, but swerving and being sort of tumbled. And you are sort of dragged through the dirt as the wheel kind of rolls and rolls through the cave. And you tumble through the portal.
All's well that ends well. Also, someone needs to look at the craftsmanship of that. I forgot what it's called. The part the wheel is connected to. Clearly, something went wrong there.
In between worlds, a constant myriad of day and night in the sky above. All manner of creatures flying through. Soft white clouds lit by sunrise and sunset at the same time. Twinkling stars met by white and blue. We meet a young Greet. Mahez, introduce your character. And why are you late this morning?
Are you kidding? I'm probably purposefully late. I probably spend each morning seeing how close I can cut the portal.
Well, this morning you hide behind one of the cloud sofas in the common room, waiting for the bell. Moment by moment. Your classmates have left, they're getting ready, they're getting buckled in. And then you hear the ringing.
Yeah, but it's slower.
And you hear the Pegasi wings begin to flap as they begin to make their way to the portal of the school.
Hmm. So I'm going to give it a few more moments and then, basically, here's a simple question. The common room that I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
would it be above or below, or on the same level as where the Pegasi would?
It's so you would have to jump from one cloud to the other. But the thing is, in between all these different clouds are this kind of magical updraft that allows you to hover and leap across.
I love you for saying that.
Mhm.
Because I have a racial trait. I can basically extend a membrane and have something like pseudo wings, which means if there's an updraft. So I'm going to try and see if I can use that to gain some height, and then I'm basically going to do a nosedive at the portal.
Roll me dex.
16 plus 4, I believe. Yes. 22.
Lovely. All right. As you sort of make your run up, you make your dash, the soft clouds underneath your feet, you gracefully leap up, extend your arms, and your wing-like appendages come out. You soar next to this Pegasi, and you can see a couple of your roommates kind of cheering, and a couple of them have placed bets on whether or not you'll actually make it. And you and the chariot both fly through the portal. Zariakari, you and your centaur friend sort of find yourselves falling. Wind brushing across your face, through your robes. And as you look down, you can see the chariot gliding gracefully to the school between the mountains. But you and your friend do not glide. You fall. Quickly. Faster and faster towards the ground. What would the two of you like to do?
Um, you said we're falling towards the ground, right?
Yep.
Okay. Give me a second.
Where is the cart in relation, the chariot in relation to us?
It's flown underneath you and is now going probably about 60-ish feet
But
and about across and 10 feet below you.
10 feet below us?
Yep.
but 60 feet
Okay,
across.
okay.
But 60 feet away.
Away? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a mage hand. So if we could get closer to the chariot, I could grab the chariot with my mage hand. Or I can possibly try and use the mage hand to break the fall for us. That's what I'm thinking.
You describe to me what you want to do, and I'll tell you if it's possible and what you need to do to do it.
Well, I'm trying to talk to Malachi and see like what he's thinking, like because I don't know if he has anything, but like that's what I have that could
I'm
help us
currently
out.
looking, but I've got to be honest. I feel like I'm taking the brunt of a big fall here.
No, that's fine. So, do you think we should like try and get closer to the chariot and like try and grab it, or do you think I should just like use the mage hand to try and like break or fall? Because I feel like with it, like I could like try and cast it towards the ground to where it like just kind of catches us. Like you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Break fall, catch cart.
Mm-hmm.
Break the fall.
All right. So yeah, I want to cast Mage Hand to like suspend it below us to try and like stop, like put a force on the ground before us.
Roll
To
me
break it.
Arcana.
Arcana. Okay. Give me like 5 minutes. We're rolling. It's happening. Come on, no, come on. Okay. Okay. It looked like it was gonna land on 1. I got a 12. I got a 12.
Okay. You conjure up your mage hand, and how does this mage hand look? As you cast it, what does the spell look like visually?
Uh, Like, what do you mean? Like, do you want like
So
me to
how
say that
would
it's a
you use it?
hand, or
How does the hand look as you cast a when everyone casts a spell, it's sort of the magic itself visually is different for every individual. So for you, when you're casting this mage hand, how do you imagine it?
oh, for Zakaria, they are everything that like kind of makes them up embodiment is like fire. So to me, I feel like it would be like very bright and like red, but like a flame hand, but not actual flame. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You sort of try and conjure it up. You pull this magic in. This magic that you are still new to. You don't fully know how to control it at this point. And this sort of claw-like red hand with small embers going up where the veins would be kind of catches you and the centaur. And it's not entirely physical, but it is sort of enough to slow your descent a little bit. As you're falling, you hear this sort of sound to your side, and another chariot flies directly over you. And Malachi, your character, will feel a sudden force against your side. Seb, roll me dex save.
Shit. A save, you said?
A save.
Okay, not that it helps at all, but see. Oh fuck. That's a 1. For a total of 1.
So, Zakaria, you and your centaur friend, you see this chariot above you kind of going, admittedly, it's going a little bit awry, and you notice that one of the 4 wheels on the chariot is missing. Malachi, your character will feel this sudden brunt force go against the side of your body
Now,
as
as I feel this,
dwarf, one moment, as this dwarf that you don't recognize just careens into your side, trying to grab onto you, but ends up pulling your satchel down with him. Sverkr is going to take 1 bludgeoning damage from the
Oh boy.
force of colliding with this centaur, who is for some reason in the middle of the sky. Now, Malachi, you have the floor.
now the dwarf is still attached to the rope. Yes.
No, the dwarf has rope in his hand, and in his other hand has your satchel. But the rope is kind of going all over the place right now.
Is the rope connected to the chariot still?
No, it's connected to a wheel.
Ah,
The wheel
lovely.
is not connected to anything other than the rope.
Right. Okay. This I can work with. Can I,
Two.
with one hand, secure Zakaria, and with the other hand, grab the rope and attempt to basically grapple hook the chariot?
You can, but you'll be grapple hooking it with a dwarf tied on the other end.
I'm aware of that. I don't care about the dwarf.
That's monk shit.
Roll strength.
Roll strength.
You'll try to lob a dwarf.
I'm aware.
Watch me.
That is a dirty 20.
Sverkr, you feel like, obviously, you've hit this centaur. You are now careening down, and suddenly you are then hefted back up. You are suffering with whiplash, as you go flying towards a third chariot that has come from the current household, which is teleported in. All four wheels still attached. What would you like to do as you are now flying towards it?
I would like to try and grab anything. At this point, I don't care what. Just if I can manage to get close enough, I want to try and grab just whatever.
Tell me another deck save.
Oh,
Look, it can't be another one, surely.
13.
See?
You are able to barely grab onto one of the wheels that is on the chariot. This one stays. This one holds.
Does this mean I'm spinning around now?
Well, no, because you are still in the air. But it means that chariot does sort of get jolted down as now the weight of 3 individuals are draining it. You can hear the Pegasi kind of straining and neighing in anguish at the sudden addition of weight. A couple students are kind of leaning down at you, shouting at you, "Why the hell are you grabbing on? What the fuck have you done now?"
Good craftsmanship. Please be good craftsmanship. Please be good craftsmanship.
Great. You and your chariot will come flying through your portal, the final one to open, and you will see a dwarf clinging on to the current chariot. A lovely blue chariot with coral growing off of it. A dwarf hanging on, a rope tied around his wrist, and a centaur and a tiefling just sort of dangling.
Man,
What would you like to
adrenaline.
do?
It's one hell of a force multiplier.
I'm going to have just that few moments of blink, 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 blink. So, turns out I'm not the only class idiot. I'm just the only class idiot who can fly.
You wonder why.
I'm going to basically, again, fold my wings in, dive towards where, the centaur and the tiefling are.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get close to them, and then when I'm close... You do understand aerodynamics, correct? It's going to be my first words, the first words out of my mouth to them.
What are aerodynamics?
We understand not wanting to fall to the ground.
Would you like me to fly ahead and see if I can get a teacher or something to set up a spell to possibly catch you?
We'll see. Don't have to.
That would be appreciated. I don't
Let's come up with
know
how
that
the
I
best
could
isn't
catch
get
us
best.
again.
And at that point, I'm just going to nod, fold my wings in, and dive, because as much as I may be a practical joker, I'm looking at this going, yeah, this is going to result in splat.
Hey, roll me perception.
Accidentally yeeted the dice out of my hand, but it landed on a 15, so I'm not going to complain. That is 19 total.
Okay.
We really didn't fuck
y-
around with the chaos today, did we?
I knew it was gonna happen. So you are able to see what looks to be a professor. One you don't necessarily
It's
recognize.
a fucking learning string. Even how you look at it, it's a learning string.
They're kind of they're wearing these black robes with stars glistening on them.
You could say the
White
exact
hair
same thing with the
combed
previous
back
game.
into this long, sort of almost a mane that goes down to their shoulders.
Yeah, the last
Elven
photo wore
ears,
exact
and
same as
you
this
a
one,
distinct
only
3
the
silver
voting
rings
screen
on
was
their
literally
fingers.
just walking.
Yeah, I'm beeline it straight for him and only open up the membranes when I'm like really close and, cut me nearly falling rather close. But at this point, I'm still more aerodynamic than them. So I feel like I've got the better chance of surviving. And just, as I'm landing, Professor, we appear to have a bit of a problem.
And what would be the issue, Initiate?
A dwarf, a centaur, and a tiefling trying to fly. And I'm going to point up at the sky in roughly their directions.
He'll put his hands on his face. I told Drail that that boy would be nothing but trouble. Very well. And he will sort of wave his hands, and you will see these 3 statues of manticores suddenly come to life and begin flying up to them. Zakaria, Sverkr, and the centaur will all see these 3 lion-like creatures with bat wings, spiked tails, and human-like faces flying up. One will immediately grab you, Zakaria, off of the back of your friend. The other will kind of grip the centaur by the legs and carry them down. And Sverkr, you will feel as like the back of your robe suddenly get lifted up as you are dragged from the chariot by the 3rd manticore, and the 3 of you are all brought down next to Greet and this professor,
Yeah.
which again none of you will recognize.
I'm kicking and flailing. I'm like no, you fucking don't. Like you ain't taking me alive.
Thank you very much. I'll give it like a
Zakaria, the Zakaria and the centaur will be put down a little bit gently. Sverkr, you're just dropped from about 5 feet up.
Fair.
And you'll see the 3 manticores return to their podiums and again turn to stone.
See, I knew I could take it. I scared it off.
How is it
Um,
you haven't even made it to your first class, and yet here you are causing havoc and damaging property, Sverkr?
Well, should have told the chariot not to leave without me.
You should have been up on time.
Well, maybe you should think out your hours a bit better. Daylight is not good for anyone.
Can I kick him?
Roll to hit.
Oh god. Oh fuck, I'm so sorry. Oh fuck, I'm so sorry.
Regrets.
No, 20, 21, 22. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
Malika, how much damage do you do in an unarmed strike?
Well, considering I just kicked him, which is a hoof strike, not an arm strike.
Yes, give it to me
Thankfully-
straight, Doc.
Thankfully, I did minimum damage. You take 5 points of damage.
Oh!
For the context of both the stream and for YouTube, they are level 1.
Yeah.
And all those noises he has made, I'm gonna
wait,
say
Didn't
Sverkr
he
made them as
also
well.
take damage from
Yeah,
like
he took a
hitting
bludgeoning.
anything?
He took a single
did.
point of
So-
bludgeoning as well. He's taken 6 points of damage so far.
That I
Oh
did.
god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Hopefully we don't gotta go to
I
like
wanna-
attack
I wanna
class
know-
first.
This is ridiculous. I have a +6 to hit at level 1.
Oh god.
That's a 17
monk.
plus 6. I am a monk,
Okay.
but Jesus.
Upon Zakaria seeing what just unfolded, like the disrespect, the kicking, she's gonna bow and she's gonna be like, "Much apologies. Thank you for saving us. We'll be on our way," and just kind of shove the 2 of them along.
Not just yet, Miss Zakaria.
She'll stop and turn around. Yes, sir.
The 2 of you have implicated yourselves as someone who has damaged school property. You understand that these chariots are very expensive to upkeep. And those Pegasi are some of the best that have ever been bred. And yet I see 1 damaged and barely able to keep the students safe, and a second one very nearly in the same position. Not to mention that I noticed that you two also must have been late if you were not aboard the carriage.
Dude, Kratos just wanted to.
Yes, sir, we were.
How would you expect someone like myself to respond to something such as that? You know we have a reputation to upkeep.
I'm not sure for Zakaria here, but I will ensure in the future to be on time. And if you need help repairing or paying for any damages, I am more than happy to assist.
No, I think a much more fitting punishment is in order. Tonight, you three will be serving detention.
Attention. Okay, sir.
Very well.
I expect to see the three of you in the dungeons at midnight.
Well, technically,
We will see what you have learned in your first 2 years. And he
God.
will begin making his way.
Did you have to kick me so hard?
Trust me, that was light.
I think I punctured a lung.
I hope so.
You'd have punctured a lot more if I hadn't have gotten the aid of a teacher.
Please tell me I'm not the only one hearing voices.
playing base.
I'm going to look over at Zerka, and I am going to attempt to use one of the spells I've been
Also,
learning to try and help him out.
technically, when
Much appreciated.
the one,
And I'm basically going to cast Good Berry and then give him a few berries.
Well, how else?
And how do these
I'm-
berries look?
Do they look like meat berries?
They look like the
Really, how it's versus
juiciest blackberries that you've just fresh picked from a bramble.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to look at them. And with a shaky hand, I'm going to take them and eat them.
Alright,
I give you
believe
4,
can-
so because I have no idea how injured you are, so I just hand over 4 and go, this should help you.
I believe it's 1 HP a berry.
That's correct.
Alright, you gain 4 hit points.
Well, I'm looking a lot better.
Alright.
Thank you.
You also suddenly feel extremely nourished. You've just
I
had a
feel
good
like what
breakfast.
bags might be under his eyes just vanish. Oh, thank you. And you are?
The name's Greet.
Well, thank you kindly, Green. Sverkr. Sverkr Brokersson.
Oh,
using the fucking computer.
well, it's better than the nickname I had for you.
Do I want to hear?
What the 4 of you like to do at the moment?
I assume we're
I-
just standing at the moment, standing on the ground.
You're currently on campus, yeah.
We should probably hurry along. We don't want to be any later than we already are.
Yeah. Thank you for breaking my fall. I have no idea what happened after that. It was all a blur, and then I was holding onto a carriage. Can someone tell me what the fuck just happened?
At this point, I'm going to shrug, look at my class schedule, and slowly make my way to my first class.
I'm sorry, but his brother.
Well, they'll come to notice that Zakaria is no longer there and has already went along her way to class.
The centaur's gonna gallop off as well at a hurried pace.
So no
Alright.
one answers his question. Just leaves him there.
Sighing, and then I'm just walking to wherever my first class is, squinting hatefully at the sun. Well, not at the sun, but,
You
I go
all
blind from that shit.
have the same first class. You all have
Wonderful.
general chronicle classes. So you all make your way to the campus, which is a bright, vibrant place with you see aurora borealis in the sky, cherry blossoms, and small lakes with little sea creatures and pixies all about. Several people making their way to classes. You'll see a couple people sort of out in the field, dueling, either with blades or with magic, as you make your way through to one of the towers. You enter this large classroom with books on either side, a sort of large wall of parchment at the far end with 3 quills magically just writing and dictating. And as you sort of come through, you'll notice that everyone else is already set up. Where would you like to go?
I will say, as we've been walking, I will have gathered my rope, or at least as much of it as I'm able to save. I have a feeling untying it from the wheel is gonna be an issue.
I'd say you'd probably be able to cut about 40 of it free.
Okay. Excellent.
So you said we've all made it to this class?
You've all made it to this class. Everyone else is set up on their desk and getting their things out ready. There's no sign of teacher yet.
I will proceed to do the same.
Yeah, I'll find an empty desk.
Yeah, he was sealed.
Alright. There are 3 empty desks sort of in the center of the classroom. You will notice that to the side there is a much larger desk with a lot more space. You do struggle making your way between the desks, Malachi, as
Yep.
being the size of a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do struggle. You bump into a couple of people. One in particular, this sort of large orc individual.
Apologies.
Which way you going?
I am. I just got to pick
Clearly
back.
not good enough. Look, just be careful before I cut you into lunch.
Uh-huh. Off.
As you take your seat and you will begin taking your things out, you will see a large door at the front of the room next to the parchment open. And you'll hear footsteps. And you will see a gnome about 3 feet tall hop up onto the desk. Sverkr, you will recognize this individual to be your house leader, Professor Xena.
Mm.
She has this sort of very almost brass-like brown hair that is tied into a braid that goes down the left shoulder. She has these goggles with 3 or 4 different lenses, most of which are pulled to the side. A pencil in her hair, an apron around her typical robes with scrolls tied to the waist, a book in hand.
I will respectfully bow my head And in Gnomish, I will say good morning.
Good morning, Sverkr. I'm glad to see you decided to join us.
I will frown but not say anything.
And good morning to the rest of you, Terra and other. I am, for those who don't know, Professor Xena, the chronicler of the school, and I will be teaching you everything that is to do with information, history, and lore. You will spend most of your time together in this classroom working together to learn about beasts, techniques, regions, all manner of information that will help you when you grow to be true adventurers. Every professor will tell you this, but I make no joke when I say chronicling is the most important class you will take this year. Without this information, you can swing a sword and cast a spell, identify a creature from another, but if you don't have the knowledge to survive, you will be no good to the people of the world. Now, I will be handing out your textbooks for the lesson, and I will be accepting any questions you may have for the coming year. Speak now or forever hold your peace. No one knows if you'll survive to see my second lesson. And she'll start making her way round, handing out scrolls to everybody. What would the people like to do?
First things first, I would like to. Shit, I forgot his name. Sit next to Miles' character. I've already forgotten your name. I'm terrible.
Greet.
Greet. Yes, I would like to try and sit next to Greet.
Mm-hmm.
Greet has proven friendly and accommodating.
Oh boy.
Alright, Greet, you kind of hear a bit of shuffling as a slightly familiar deep dwarf will sit at the desk next to you.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting there.
Professor
My
Xena will
presence
come
would be
over,
enough.
putting a scroll on each of your desks. The same with you, Zakaria. And she will go over to you, Mr. Centaur, put it down, and look up at you. I've done my best to accommodate, but do remember that I will not play favorites like Professor Drail will.
I would expect
I'm not going to
nothing
give
less.
you bonus marks just because you are exquisite.
I would hope not. I'll politely bow and begin looking at what she has handed to me.
You will see a blank scroll. You will all see a blank scroll, and you will also see Xena making her way back to the front of the class. Now, I assume from the fact that you've all held your tongues that nobody has any questions for me. This is your last chance. Good. Now, there are such things as dumb questions, but even dumb questions can have smart answers. You will remember this. It's the most important rule of my class. What you see before you is a piece of parchment, an empty scroll. Each of these scrolls will contain the information we're going to go over in the lesson. I trust you all to make important notes on what you learn. There will be a test at the end of the year. This test will consist of questions regarding information you have covered. However, you will also be expected to do field research on your own time. I don't have the resources or the funds to facilitate field research. So if you want to learn everything there is to know about a certain creature, you can come to me and I can tell you where to find that creature. If you successfully kill said creature, I am happy to give you the classroom to perform an autopsy. The more you learn, the better you will succeed. It doesn't matter what you do in the rest of your classes. If you fail my class, you'll be kept next year, and you will keep repeating your years until you graduate. We have students here who are first years. We have students here who have been here for 50 years. I'm looking at you. And she will look to this little goblin who seems to be very annoyed, and you'll see like grey hairs seemingly coming from the top of his head.
That is one old goblin. Don't they average like 30? Or am I misremembering horror?
Now, today's class is very basic. I'm going to be looking at terrain. What is good terrain to camp in, and what is bad terrain to camp in. And you will see as the letters begin to appear on the scrolls and the parchments in front of you. They will describe basic camping equipment and sort of basic ways to combat weather. I'd like everybody to roll me intelligence.
Good. Everything else bad. Intelligence is 12.
14.
I think my comment is very warranted.
I rolled a 5.
Oh no.
I'm rolling. I'll let you know.
That's okay. So, Greet, to you, this is very common knowledge. You know, you've been camping every once in a while. It all makes sense. It's all very simple.
I kind
Sverkr,
of look a bit on the tent section in this game because I'm more the person to climb a tree and set up a hammock, but it's all fairly common knowledge.
Sverkr, like, yeah, if you were to go outside, sure, this will be useful. It makes sense.
I've spent the vast majority of my life under at least a solid amount of rock.
All right,
What-
Zakaria?
I got an 8.
Zakaria and Mr. Centaur, you spend the entire lesson making notes as best you can. But when you go to the answer the questions at the end of class, you fill them in, you hand them over to the teacher. After a few moments, Xena comes around, giving scores. Greet, you got an 8 out of 10. The only thing you really messed up on was how to do a certain knot and how to combat severely cold weather, as it's something you're not familiar with. Zvertica, you got a 6 out of 10. That's a passing grade, that's good enough, but clearly some problems can't be solved with more rocks. Zakaria,
I built an igloo out of rocks. It's stable. As long as you manage to have a central support pillar, it should stay up properly.
Zakaria, you got a 4 out of 10. You failed your
Oh.
first quiz. And Xena will kind of put it down. I understand. First day stresses. But I expect to see improvements over the next couple of weeks, okay?
Can do.
If you want extra help, you can come see me in your free periods.
Oh god.
And then she will go over to you, Mr. Centaur. A 2 out of 10.
Fucking knew I called it.
I really did expect better from you.
No one's perfect, but clearly I have work to do.
Very clearly. If you get another result like this, it will be a detention. You have time to improve, but I expect you to be avid in your field studies. She'll make her way back up to the front of the class and she will hop onto one of the desks. Your next class is going to be a very important one. Your next class is going to be identifying edible fruit and plants from inedible fruit and plants. It will be a lesson taught both by myself and Professor Silver, who, Greet, you will recognize as the mentor and leader of House Gale.
Yep.
I tell you what the next class is, so you have plenty of time for your field studies. I will see you bright and early. I recommend that those who need improvement make improvement. Am I understood?
The centaur's gonna slightly bow.
Very well.
Understood.
Welcome to Myrmidon Academy, Initiates. I hope, through no offense, that this is the last year we spend together. You're all dismissed. Enjoy your free period. Remember, first years, you all have martial training after your free period. Do not be late. Locket is very, very grueling when it comes to latecomers. Who Mr. Centaur and Zakaria, you will recognize is your mentor for House Ember. And you will know that he's quite the hard ass, for lack of a better term. But you are all dismissed, and you are all free to go out into the campus. And the floor is open.
Fucking 6 out of 10. It's disgraceful.
I'm gonna head out to roughly towards where I'm gonna need to be for the martial training.
Okay.
Just so that I'm nearby, so that I can study. Like, so basically, I'm gonna study and go back over what I completely fucked up, and then I can be on time for my next class.
Okay.
How long do we have?
A free period is about an hour of time.
Okay. I am going to take a short rest. This said that it was going to be combat training. I am going to be. I want to be as well rested as I possibly can be.
All right.
So we like know the layout of the campus, correct? Like
Yeah.
because it's okay. I want to
So
go to the
the way-
library then.
All right. So the way it's kind of set out is there are these 4 towers at the north, south, east, and western points, with this large open area in the center for recreation and other things. You make your way to the library, which is nearby to the tower that you've just come from, the southern tower where Professor Xena resides. What would you like to do once you get there?
I want to try and find a book on the stuff we just went over, like so the camping stuff, and then I want to
Mhm.
find a book on berries or like the inedible and edible, so I can study what I just failed and be prepared for next class as well.
Okay. Roll me investigation.
All right, investigation.
And whilst we wait for 3 years for Mickey's dice to roll, great. What are you doing?
I'm gonna head. I'm assuming the campus does actually have greenhouses as well.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to those and actually test my practical knowledge by just going along the various aisles, not looking at the labels, and just seeing if I can identify the poisonous from the non-poisonous.
As you do, you will see Professor Silver there, sort of, seemingly studying some plants himself and making notes. Professor Silver is he's a furbolg, so he's about 5.5 foot, quite short for one of his species. He's got this large, slightly pink nose, hair tied back into a ponytail, and all down his sort of brown robes are these vine-like silk
Yeah, I was gonna say just make it.
decals.
I'm simply going to nod in his direction and just say, "Good morning, Professor," and then go about my work.
Good morning, young Windson. How was your first class?
Fairly rudimentary for me, but, I came from a background where I spent most of my life camping in one form or another.
Yes, well, I think it is safe to say that chronicling will get a lot more intense for you as the year goes on. And if you fail this year, it is the exact same curriculum next year, though I doubt you will struggle, at least in the beginning. I did hear about a certain escapade this morning that you informed Professor Stellar about.
I'm going to simultaneously look slightly guilty, hoping that he hasn't figured out that I technically wasn't on my carriage when I leapt down to inform the professor, but at the same time just continue on with, yes, a few of the students missed carriage, it seemed, and decided to jump through the portal on their own. Unfortunately, they did not have my flight capabilities.
Not all of us can be as well equipped as you can. But your quick thinking was very adequate for the situation. It is just thankful that you were not late like the others, otherwise it could have been quite the bloody festival.
I'm just thankful that I was able to help.
Well, perhaps this year we will see a more focused greet.
I'm just going to smirk at him at that point and say, "No promises, Professor, but I am at least trying to get ahead in my studies."
Good, my child. Now, I will leave you to practice with these berries. A word of warning. Never eat a 3-pronged leaf berry.
I'll take those words to heart, Professor.
Zakaria, how are we doing?
A nat 20.
She's gotta be pissed about
I'm looking for fucking books.
You are very familiar with this library. You know it like the back of your hand. Immediately, you know the herbology section and the section on flora. So you're able to find the book for berries instantly, and you're able to find a sort of survival guide, shall we say, for camping and such. What would you like to do now that you have these 2 books?
I'm gonna check them out and I'm gonna go to my next class. Fucking pissed,
Okay.
bro.
You're able to check them out, and obviously you know that you can keep a book for a week before it has to be returned. So you now have a book on berries and a book on camping. And Mr. Centaur, you sort of go over some of the notes that you made from the last class, and you can see where you made some very clear mistakes. It was more so an issue of comprehension as it was an issue of retaining knowledge. But you sort of make your notes, and Sverkr, eventually you wake and make your way to the battleground for martial
I would
training.
have been close-ish, just so that if I were to
Yeah.
slightly oversleep, I wouldn't be having to run from one end of the academy to the other.
Well, the four of you once again all make your way to your class, and you enter, and it's a sort of large jousting looking area, sand that covers the ground, and a place for people to sit and wait. In the center, you see this very large ganassi. An earth ganassi about 6.5 feet tall, with two massive battle axes strapped to his back. One of his arms is completely covered in tattoos. The other, about halfway down his arm, is tattooed. The forearm remains bare, and you will see there's these three massive claw marks over his face, deep. Where the fuck did Mickey go? You see that too, Malika? Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Hold on. I'm checking my internet. Hold on. It should be okay.
Well, Mahes, you're now the DM.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Mickey was there, and then she was just gone.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. Like I blinked and suddenly her like thing was empty, and it's like, what the fuck?
Okay. Please
Was she
don't do
grabbed
this.
by mind
Please
flayers?
don't do this to me. Why?
Oh.
Anytime I
fuck.
want to do anything.
I've been muted this entire time. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I looked across and she was just gone. Talk about blinking, you miss it.
Yeah.
I thought she
Fucking hell.
fucking fell. I was really worried for a second
Yeah, she
there.
had the crash and then she's gone.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize y'all were just talking, and then it just stopped, and I'm like, hello? Did I lose you guys? Hello? Okay,
Aw.
hold on.
Oh
Although
my god.
Mahes has yet to make a ruling as acting DM.
I am not going to say anything for fear it may bite me in the ass later.
That is very smart.
Very wise man.
Very
Thing.
wise
Oh,
choice.
Very wise person.
Oh god, day one, and I've already got to give you guys detention. Fuck's sake.
I mean, you're the one who decided, hey, let's make all of them late for class. Let's make all of them late.
Technically,
didn't
he
think
didn't
all-
make me
I wasn't
late.
expecting
Well, you made yourself late.
Here's the
Okay,
thing.
sure.
I wasn't expecting all three of you to go chase the fucking carriages. I thought a couple of you would look for another way.
Yeah, see, I just didn't anticipate the teleport. I'm like, I'm a horse. I can catch up to a Pegasus.
In
Sure.
our
Oh,
defense,
you can't like one.
I can catch
in
up
our
to it. I just
defense-
I don't have the wings. Yet.
in our defense, our characters had basically all just woken up by the bell.
Yeah.
It takes a while for the thought process to properly reassert itself.
No,
Some of us were still acting
do that.
under
Come on.
dream logic.
No, we're gonna go with that because obviously, whilst you guys wouldn't have been in the common rooms, you would have seen the chariots flying in every
Problem is-
morning.
All I can think of at the moment is that TikTok of, he jumped. Oh shit, he jumped!
Oh no!
That's my boy! Oh no, my boy! Father hell.
I'm just
Oh
I'm
my
just glad I got to
God.
use the dwarf as a grappling hook.
For fuck's sake!
Fucking toss me! Hey,
Pick
dwarf
up
tossing.
and goodbye.
Apparently, I have the best timing for Chick. Anytime she goes to take a drink is the time I'll make a comment that causes her to do a spit take.
Ah, lovely.
Wow. No, I have to say, dwarf tossing, it is a national sport somewhere in the world. It might be a small village somewhere, but it is a sport.
It may
It's
also
this-
be slightly controversial.
It's the same
Oh, I never
town
claimed
where
it
the
wasn't.
sport of lackey lobbing was invented.
I mean, that's what necromancers are for, right? They're dead. It's not like they care.
I thought necromancers were for raising families.
Or
Well,
families.
necromancers were environmentalists. They're recycling.
See?
Oh, it's gonna be one hell of a year.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
And she's dead.
hang on.
And
No,
she's
she's
not
back.
dead.
She's back. She's coming back.
Hello.
Hi.
He lives.
Zephyr,
Sorry
you're back in
about that.
charge.
So Mickey, what was the last thing you heard?
Momentarily dropping internet.
What was the last thing you heard?
Honestly, I'm not sure. So I checked my stuff out at the library, and then that's kind of like you went to talk to somebody else, but that's kind of around where I started losing
Okay.
connection.
All right, cool. So you've made your way to the battlegrounds, which is basically this large sort of jousting, looking, arena with sand on the ground and stands for everybody to sit in. The four of you sit in roughly the same area, with the centaur kind of just standing at the side, with this large earth ganassi with tattoos all down one arm, half of his other arm covered in tattoos. Stands at about 6'5", 6'6", two massive great axes on his back in an X formation, and these three massive claw marks going through his face, deep
Respect.
and scarred. You, Zakaria, and the centaur will recognize this to be Professor Lockett of the Ember House. Welcome to martial training. You will spend a year with me, and you'll either end up the best fighters I've ever seen or dead. Any questions?
I was going to raise my hand and ask, is there an option 3?
He'll point to you. Come forward.
Yep.
And he'll sort of look over the crowd. And then his eyes will lock on you, Zakaria. Zakaria. Of my own house. Step forward.
All right, I step forward.
I'll give her a little pat on the back as she goes past. You got this.
He will step back. Show me what you've got.
Oh God.
I'd like you
Wait,
both
wait.
to roll initiative.
Who am I fighting?
You're fighting Greek. You're fighting Mahez.
Oh God. Oh God.
22.
Oh God. Okay.
Fight admirably.
We will once we know who gets to go first. Downtown.
Would it
it's gonna
Oh, never mind.
slow. I roll. I got a 14.
Mahez, you go first.
Well, considering this is martial weapon training, I'm not going to actually try using spells initially. So I'm just going to go for an unarmed strike.
Go for it.
14 to hit.
It's not hit.
All right. So, Greek, you will kind of go for an initial strike. But Zakaria, you'll sort of duck out the way and sidestep the how does he that saved you earlier in a way. And now it's your turn to make a strike.
And I am going to make a strike. I'm already rolling in the process to see if I can hit. I'll let you know once it lands.
We need to buy you some real dice.
Yes. Ooh. Ooh. What? Motherfucker, I got a 3. The 19 is
presume
most
that-
definitely on top, but I got a 3.
I presume that a 3 does not hit you, Greek.
A 3 does not hit me.
Clearly,
Go ahead and I'll...
the two of you don't have much to offer. Mr. Winson, your form was poor. You need to watch your balance. Zakaria, I expect better from you. Where's the fire? Where's the passion? Back in line, both of you.
Yep.
He'll pull up another couple pair, and he'll keep bringing people up in groups of 2. Malachi, you will recognize a very particular orc who you annoyed in your first class, and as you see him fight his opponent,
I'm
a
gonna
Goliath.
analyze this very deeply. I want that known. I
Yep,
see him. I'm analyzing him.
You see that
Rivals.
immediately, he pulls out a dagger from his belt and goes to attack the Goliath he's been paired up against. And they will trade blow for a moment, but you'll see the orc get the upper hand with a leg sweep before thrusting his dagger against the throat of the Goliath.
Interesting.
Lockett will announce him the victor. Rockerson! Here.
Step forward.
You're going up against the centaur.
I'm so sorry.
I say anyone with either good enough hearing or just close enough will hear a involuntary whimpering sound. It's not coming from my vocal cords. It's coming from like my spleen or something.
Get up here. Now.
Will
Yeah, no, like
my way out.
I'm. I will. I will look at what's his name,
Lockett.
Lockett. Okay. Oh yeah, I will look at. Okay, and I will kind of offhandedly, ask. Do we? Can one borrow any kind of armor?
You scared, dwarf?
Hardly, but it always pays to be prepared.
If you're not scared, you won't mind if you let him have the first hit.
Forward pride. Naturally. I will say with as much confidence as I could possibly feign.
Alright then, the Fae goes first. Malachi,
I
it's your
am
turn.
glaring at you, by the way. like to him, like to Locket, I'm like, naturally, trying to save my dwarven pride, and then I turn to
I
you and
will-
I'm glaring at you, like, don't you fucking dare!
How far away from him am I?
There's you're both positioned so that there's about 20 feet between you.
Now, I want clarification. Is this actions only? Or is this
This is
bonus
combat.
action? Okay.
This is combat.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
I will-
sorry.
We'll ask before anything. From the fights that have already happened, is it only like physical attacks, or are magical attacks also?
No one has used magic yet.
And I take it no
And
one
from-
has actually asked yet.
No.
So
And
either
from the crowd, you're gonna hear, "Woo, go Pony Boy!"
You're gonna see the centaur is he's got that one hoof just ready to start running.
Good day.
Your turn, Malachi.
That's
I was giving him as much time, but he's out of time now. So yeah, I'm going to move forward and I'm going to kick him in the face.
Roll
please
the
go
hit.
on.
Does
Please go on.
does a 21 hit?
Fuck you. So what's the damage, sheep?
You take 7 points of damage. And for my bonus action, I would like to rotate and punch you to knock you out. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
I would like to point out that the minimum damage I can do from this is 5. Is that enough?
And I'm out cold.
No, roll. You gotta roll.
Okay.
Because if you roll, because if in your turn you've done double his health and damage, he's dead.
What was triple?
I roll double.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
So that's another 7. You've taken
Yeah, I'm safe.
14 points of damage.
Okay, I'm not dead, but I am knocked the fuck out.
Pony Boy, Pony Boy, Pony Boy. All the students are chanting, "Pony Boy, Pony Boy, Pony Boy."
I will let it known that in the small amount of time between me getting kicked and me getting punched, there is a singular tear rolling down my cheek. As I have
Malachi.
the moment with my arms spread out towards the sides and I slowly close my eyes with just this look of, I accept my fate. Like, fucking, like, give it to me.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you want to do this?
Well, the first kick, it's gonna hit across your jaw. That way I'm in a prime position to push off with my hooves, rotate my body, and just sideswipe you across the cheek.
Okay. Addition. All of the things I said earlier happened, except my jaw is just kind of wiggling.
But so here's the thing. As you bring your hooves around, you hear a very distinct cracking sound. As you completely dislocate his lower jaw. The punch at this point is just a formality.
Pony Boy, Pony Boy.
I'd like to imagine like some group of students are they're chanting, and then like they hear the crack and they're like, oh.
and they shouted even harder, Bodhi boy, Bodhi boy.
I feel so horrible because I knew that like I know how much damage I do. Anything over minimum damage was almost certain to knock you the fuck out.
I am a level 1 cleric who is wearing common clothes. I have no armor.
None of us have armor.
Yeah, but I was put up against a fucking monk. That is like throwing a baby against a grizzly bear.
We'll see as Locket whistles. And Professor Drail will come around from the corner. And he will kind of hold out his hand and sort of look over your injuries and see you heavy breathing. Very heavy breathing. And he will sort of stroke his hands over you. And you will heal for 26.
Ah.
I would like to walk over and extend my hand to the dwarf.
I will look dazed and disoriented, and once I look at you, I will hesitate for a little bit, but then I will take your hand.
I will drag you up and prop you upright.
One day I'll pay you back for that.
I look forward
That's
to
a
the day.
promise. And I will turn my back on him and just exhale. And I will right myself, try to compose myself, and I will walk off the stage arena thing.
Holy crap. I too will head back to over where Zakaria is.
Zakaria, roll me a wisdom save. Great. What are you doing during all of this, by the way, whilst we wait?
I'm just staring at it going, right, don't mess with steel hooves.
Man. I just got my ass whooped hard enough that no amount of books will be able to be filled. That's going in the fucking book.
Okay, I got a 14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You are sitting there chanting, cheering for your friend. When all of a sudden you feel this burning feeling in your head. Greet, you will notice how Zakaria goes this very almost snow white pale color in their face. As this sort of piercing anguish
Man,
in
for
your
a tiefling,
temples
that's quite something.
grips you. You take 2 psychic damage. And you feel this. To you, it feels like an earthquake, but no one else seems to be reacting.
I'm just going to move a bit closer and, is everything okay?
Zakaria cannot speak with the pain. Is not going to be able to speak until it subsides. Is that the right word?
Subsides, yeah.
You'll notice how Lockett looks over at you. What's the matter, Zakari? Can't stand the sight of blood?
I will say so. She didn't seem to have an issue with it earlier. I don't think it's that.
How does he? What's wrong with her?
I'm actually considering she's currently not being verbally responsive. Do a medicine check.
Alright, do me a medicine.
Dirty 20.
You can identify that it is not a physical pain she is dealing with. You don't know what the cause of it is, but whatever she's experiencing, it is either mental strain or in some way magical.
I can't speak to anything outside the physical, but she doesn't appear to be hurt in any way, but she is experiencing pain.
Braille will walk over, who is this what looks to be an orc, but their features are a lot softer. The underbite that typical orcs have is a lot less prevalent, and he's very thin for an orc. And he'll go over, put his hand on your forehead, and immediately pull it back, almost like he's touched molten hot iron. You need to be taken to medical immediately. You, Mr.
Can I
Winston.
just like
from the door.
collapse at this
I-
point?
I was gonna say upon hearing that she is needing to be taken to medical, I will rush over and just pick her up. My legs
And-
are faster.
Do not rush, boy.
I'll prop her up on my back and make my way swiftly but carefully.
You
I'd
will
like to
see
say,
Drell.
while
hmm
while all of this has been happening, I would like to try and keep an eye out, like through the crowd, to see if anyone is having a sort of like overly positive reaction to it, maybe a smirk or anything like that.
Roll investigation.
Nah, I see. Investigation. That is not. Let's see. I'm just double reading my sunlight sensitivity. Specifically perception and attack rolls. Okay. Investigation is neither of those. Haha. It's a 15.
The only one that there's this one orc kid who kind of looks a little bit smug, but otherwise everyone's mostly concerned. You can get the idea that Zakaria is one of the more respected personalities in your year.
Hmm.
And you can see the old goblin is just not even paying attention.
Probably took the wrong medication this morning. Understandable. Alright. That's all I do.
Alright. You will make your way to the medical wing, which is this long hall with a plague doctor looking individual to sort of take Zakaria, lays them
Character.
down on a bed, and whispers something to Drail. She will be alright. She needs her rest. Now, if you wish to stay with her, that's fine, but remember you have one more class before the day is out. You'll all be going to your individual classes so you can learn the skills that you initiated yourselves into. And I heard, and he'll look to you, Malachi, that you and Zakaria got yourselves into some trouble this morning. What have I told you about being foolish?
Yes, well, my eagerness to learn was a little too eager. I must correct that.
You've spent so much of your time here focusing on speed. We never told it's quality and not quantity. Would you rather do 100 things all right or one thing perfectly?
I'd rather do a lot of things perfectly, but I am overeager, admittedly. I will take more care in the future.
I expect good things from you, boy.
I'll politely bow.
And he will leave. Greet, roll me perception.
12 on the dice plus 6, 18. Not 6 plus 4, so 16.
You will notice that Zakaria's bag is rumbling.
Not to be rude of professors, but is that something to be concerned about?
There are no professors in the room. They've all
Oh.
left.
In which case, I'm going to check the bag.
You see, amongst other things, what looks to be about the size of the palm topaz rock, which is violently shaking and vibrating.
I am going to very carefully pick it up to inspect it.
It just seems to be a regular topaz, if not a little bit bigger than what they would normally be, but regular topaz jewel.
Um, Odd.
Perhaps I'm not really a fan of you going through Zakaria's things while she's out like this. Perhaps put that back and maybe see if you can find one of the professors rather quickly.
Well, I am inclined to agree. I am studying the medical track, and I do at least want to make sure of one thing, and I'm going to move the stone towards the entrance of the bay, basically away from Zakaria, and see if there's any change in reaction.
The vibrations and the shaking get worse and worse, to the point where the area around you begins to rattle.
Okay, I'm going to move it, put it next to her bedside, and say, I'll be right back, and then I'm going to hastily leave the room looking for a professor.
Alright, Sverkr and the centaur will... The shaking is still there. It's not nearly as violent as when it was on the other side of the room, but it's still shaking. A very, very light hum.
I'm gonna
This could be.
move around and sort of back myself in, basically in front of that bag and by Zakaria's side, and sort of just like lay down on my hooves.
would like to inspect the topaz.
Good luck getting past me first,
That
because
is
I will be blocking.
If he's blocking, Centaur roll me strength.
I roll anything?
Not yet.
16.
I'm going to say with your size, you're able to sort of keep the dwarf away from it, but I would still like Sverkr to roll me investigation with advantage,
Ooh.
because gemstones are your forte.
Natural 20 for a total of 20.
Well, just a visual point alone, you can tell, it's a large topaz. It's very, very valuable. You
Any
imagine
like,
that could go for at least 100 platinum.
is it rough or is it cut?
Perfectly cut.
Any? Is there any identifiable like markings or?
Not a
Like-
single blemish on it.
Hmm.
Like, you have never seen a jewel that perfect. It's almost unnaturally perfect. And the vibration's continuing and shaking.
That is an issue.
While I appreciate your curiosity, I still very much do not think you should be going through her things.
Tell me, Pony Boy, have you ever seen that gem before?
No, I haven't. It's not my business, and it's not yours either. And if you call me Pony Boy again, you will catch another hoof.
I raise my hands in kind of a, fine. Okay, I'll drop it. Kind of, gesture. I will take a couple of steps back.
Greet. Outside the infirmary, you will find the plague doctor, kind of going through some potions.
Professor, it's about Zakaria. Something started vibrating in her bag, and because she wasn't conscious to ask herself questions, I decided to investigate. And there's a large type of topaz that it appears to be vibrating, and if you try moving it away from her, it gets worse.
He will kind of tilt his head ever so slightly before making his way back into the infirmary. Sverkr and the centaur will both see him walk over, and he will
I'll
walk
make way
through
for
you. He
Oh.
walks through you, his body
Ugh.
becoming nothing but smoke and ash as he goes through, and will pick up the topaz. Walk away, study it, walk closer, placing it in Zakaria's hand where the vibrating will stop. And then he will leave the room. The floor is open.
After he's left the room, I'm just going to shake my head and going, well, I could have done. Supposed to be learning about medicine here, and he just grumbling to myself.
Maybe
How long
once
do
she
we
is
have?
conscious again, we can ask some questions. But for now, I think we should pass some time and prepare for our next classes.
Yeah. How long do we have until our next classes?
We have an hour and a half.
Okay. It's a bit of time.
I'm also then going to look to the centaur and go, sorry, Steelhooves, for going through her things, by the way. From a medical perspective, with her unconscious, something weird happening. I had to be sure that it wasn't something that was affecting her.
I understand, but it's perhaps if it had been a professor going through, I don't feel right going through other people's things.
But you have no qualms about breaking ribs or jaws.
Well, the first one you deserved. The second one I had no choice.
Serve?
Yes.
I made an honest comment.
You were being an asshole.
Language!
Sorry.
You see one of the gargoyles in the room kind of staring at you. Professors don't like that kind of talk.
You are correct. Though I will say
They
it
would-
is an apt description.
I'm going to drop everything and I'm going to inspect this gargoyle. I assume it is made of stone.
Visually, it appears so, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to like look at it to try and figure out like, okay, this gargoyle is it some kind of natural creature, or has it been like or is it some kind of like almost golem, like carved out of stone and then magically like granted life? Like I'm just going to inspect it to see if I can find any signs of it being
Roll me
carved.
investigation.
Okay. 10.
You can't tell from this distance. Because they are about 10 feet above you.
I'm going to while trying to see anything, I'm going to make an experiment in Dwarven. Yeah, in Dwarven, I'm going to like just say hello.
We can speak all languages.
Just checking.
There's a reason
Marvelous
we're
creature.
security around here.
Well, I wish you good luck on your job. I'm going to turn around to greet, and I'm kind of going to try and whisper to him. I love this place.
They get weirder and weirder every year.
Just gonna shake my head and go. I think it best we leave Zakaria to her rest, and I'm going to just pull out a scrap of parchment from my bag and just write a note and leave it on the side table next to her bed, and then head off.
I will nod my
Okay.
head, and I will also head off.
And where are you going, Mr. Centaur?
Nowhere. I'm gonna sit and wait patiently and study in the room and wait for my next class.
Alright. Great. Sverkr, where are you going?
Yeah, we have about an hour and a half left, or is that just the total amount?
You've got, we'll say, roughly an hour. Given the
Okay.
time it would have taken to get to medical and the interactions and such.
See, would I know of any place on campus where one could potentially acquire smithing tools?
Roll me intelligence.
Oh boy, I am average at that. 4.
You've no bloody clue.
Well, that's disappointing. Tell me, Greet,
Yes.
what house are you in?
I
Say
mean,
Greet.
House Gale.
Ah. Is it a nice house? Is it strong,
Depends on what
sturdy?
you're. Depends on your definition of nice. I quite find it enjoyable myself. Gives me plenty of advantages to fly.
Hmm.
And I'm going to look pointedly at the when I say fly, just to see if, there's any reaction out of him, given, his amateur attempt at it this morning.
I am going to stare right ahead, like not look at anything, and try my best not to react at all.
About half an hour will pass until Zakaria wakes up. Zakaria, your head is heavy, your vision blurry. You awaken in an infirmary with your friend by your side and the topaz in your hand.
Where am I? What happened?
Well, you're in the hospital, and I'm not really sure what happened. You seem to have been attacked, maybe? I'm really not sure.
Attacked? By what?
I really don't know. I'm not the one with information, unfortunately. They, Professor Drayle said to bring you here, so I brought you here.
Who touched my stone? Why is it? It's not in my bag where I left it.
Ah, yes. I did not, basically, it started vibrating. Greet was curious, and took it out and noticed that it was vibrating, but it vibrated more when it got further away from you. I told him to put it back and to go get the professor. The doctor was the one who took the stone and placed it in your hand.
You said it was vibrating?
Yes, quite violently,
Why?
especially the further it got away from you.
Why would it? It's never done that before. It's just a stupid rock. I don't even know why I keep it.
Somewhere Sverkr is having an aneurysm.
I'm not sure, but I was going to ask you about it, but yes, it's I'm really not sure.
Professor, please.
What was that? Sorry.
Grab the professor, please.
Certainly. I'll head out and grab the doctor.
The plague doctor will sort of look at you.
Zakaria has awoken. She has a couple of questions for you.
The plague doctor will make their way into the infirmary, and Zakaria, you will see this sort of white masked doctor with a pitch black robe and a hood that goes overhead.
Can you tell me what happened?
He shakes his head.
Shit.
Language!
Yes, the gargoyles aren't too fond of that kind of language. I found that out earlier.
Try and stand, but I feel like with my head being heavy and like groggy, I'm not gonna be able to. Is that assumption correct?
I will leave that up to you. Give me one moment. The cat is trying to eat the Christmas lights.
Good cat.
Shut the fuck
I
up,
was
man.
about to say, that sounds fairly standard for a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh my god, I'm gonna get cat cuddles later today.
well,
I haven't had cat
man,
cuddles in months.
man. Fucking, here I have figured out that this gem, this topaz, is like almost unnaturally well cut. And then here we have Zakaria. I was like, it's just a stupid rock. I don't even know why I keep it. I was not there for the conversation, but Sverkr, he's just walking down a corridor and suddenly he feels a great disturbance.
A
Taking
great disturbance in the world. He's like, oh, what the fuck?
taking all bets on the true identity of the stupid rock.
Mm.
I bet it's Vecna.
Not again.
Zakaria, I'm not sure if it has any magical properties, but I do know that Professor Drail is quite proficient in Arcana. It might be worth
Well,
asking.
yeah, I was about to say I might need to talk to Professor Drill then. But it's never done anything before.
We have our specialty classes in about half an hour. What specialty class will you be attending? What do you-
Sorcery,
Sorcery.
right? Like that's what it's supposed to
Yeah,
be for.
yeah.
It's like your
Yeah.
so sorcery.
Sorcery could be close to Arcana. There is a chance you may get Professor Drail. I'm not 100% sure.
Then off to specialized classes we go, and I'll talk to Professor Drill and see what I can find out.
Get as much rest as you can first, though. I'll sort of sit and go back to my studying until it's time for me to head off to my class.
And Greet and Sverkr, what are you up to?
I'd be making my way to my specialized class early because it's the one thing I actually have a pointed interest in.
Sverker will be walking around half aimlessly, trying to find some sign towards here where he might be able to acquire some decent smithing tools. And failing that, which I assume he does, given his earlier abysmal roll, he is going to head to class.
Okay. You all make your way to your individual classes. On the way to which, Zakaria, you hold the topaz in your hand, curiosity clearly engulfing your mind, when all of a sudden it cracks.
Oh,
This simple, beautiful, perfect gem. One solid crack right through the middle.
one dwarf to infirmary. The dwarf just collapsed in the middle of the hallway.
That's all.
He's going catatonic.
You know, you sort of you look through the gem, you sort of see this crack going all the way through. What would you like to do?
Going to just tuck it away and hurry along. Like I'm just gonna try and ignore it
hear
for
another
as long as
crack.
possible. Cracked again.
You hear another crack.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it out of my pocket. I'm gonna try and separate the two pieces.
You were unable to do so. It starts to vibrate.
Can I crack? Like, is it like large enough to like see through it visibly, like
It
an
is
eye
not.
hole?
It is not. But roll me perception.
Oh shit, that's the wrong thing.
Got a little wisdom save.
Perception. At 18.
You hear a very low humming. Cracks again and again. And suddenly there's this bright white flash. For a moment you are blinded, this sort of almost ringing in your ears. And as you regain your focus, and you notice that the students around you are also kind of dazed and looking in your direction, your hands are empty. There is no stone.
I'm gonna look around to see if maybe I possibly dropped it in the flash. Because that's the only like logical thing to me that could have happened and why it's gone is that I dropped it.
There's no sign of it. You don't see it. No sign of dropping it, no trail. Just gone. Which is weird because right up until you got your focus back, you swear it was in your hands. It was only when you looked at your hands that you could see that it was gone. It never felt like it disappeared.
Does it still feel like it's in my hands?
Initially, yes, and then your brain kind of catches up with you. Almost like a placebo effect.
Okay, so it's I'm gonna go try and see if I can find that professor because now I definitely can't ignore what just happened.
Alright, you make your way into the arcane tower. And you make your way to what you presume to be Professor Drell's classroom, where you can see he's beginning to take a lesson. Specifically, he's teaching the wizards.
Okay, I'm going to knock and just excuse me, Professor. I forgot his name. Excuse me, Professor. I need to talk to you. It's very important. I'm sorry to interrupt your lesson.
One moment, students. And this sort of very thin orc will walk his way down to you and close the door behind him. Is this about your injury?
Yes, I I was told that you were present and told them to take me to the infirmary. And I had a stone. I'm not too sure much about it, but they said that it was vibrating. And just a few moments ago, it cracked and flashed and disappeared. And now I'm thoroughly confused, scared, upset, all the emotions, and I'm not sure what to do.
Stone. You had a stone.
A stone.
Can it not be replaced?
It's not really about that it's gone. It's more so that we believe it was connected to my injury and now it's gone. So don't really care about it being in my possession, but rather the fact that it's no longer in my possession.
Come and see me after class and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, thank you. And then I'm gonna hurry along.
Meanwhile, Sverkr,
Yes.
you are currently being taught how to be a cleric. You're being taught about the
Amazing.
power of the gods and how, for some individuals, the gods bless with great and holy power. And should you succeed this year, you will be one of them. One that the gods smile down upon, one that they respect, and one that will forward their teachings. The centaur is currently being taught how to be a monk, the importance of balance, of grace, of strength.
And how to kick people's jaws off.
And I'll do it again.
Great.
That goes into the fucking book.
You are currently being taught the ways of the druid. How life itself is a great and deep magic that some are able to learn how to harness, and control. How at your fingertips life can grow and be snuffed out. Zakaria, when you eventually get to class and make your excuses for being late, you were taught the fundamentals of sorcery. How it is a magic that does not come from an outside source like that of a wizard or cleric or druid. How it comes from your own blood. How everyone who is a sorcerer, their power is within them. And it is less about learning the nature of the magic and how to control it, but rather identifying what that magic is and letting it flow through you like water in the river. You are all somewhat successful in your studies. There is no major testing or anything. You begin with very fundamental information. But your class has come to an end, and this will be your final class for the day. You say goodbye to your classmates. And at least 3 of you know that you have about 8 hours till your detention. What would you like to do?
I am going to try and gather the rest of the group to bring them to talk to the professor with me, since they know more about like what happened than I do, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I just need to figure out what they're doing.
It's quite simple for you to find your centaur friend. You know him quite well. You know he was going to be a monk. You find out where the monk's lessons are going to be taking place. You go there. Malachi, your character will see Zakaria coming up to you, still quite pale in the face. Malachi is not here. That is great. In which case, Zverka.
Yes.
Sverkr, you will sort of be aimlessly wandering around campus again. and you will.
I'm trying to find where I can get myself some smith's tools.
Well, in your wandering, you will quite literally bump into Zakaria. Zakaria, you will feel this sort of all of a sudden a heavy force against like the back of your leg.
Look out where you're walk. Oh, it's
Oh.
you.
I was looking for you.
Well, you have no
I need-
idea
I
how
need
many
your
people
help.
bump into me all the time. Don't they look where they step?
I mean, you
I
technically
swear.
bumped into me. I'm just standing.
I apologize. I've had a day.
It's okay. Yeah, you dislocated your jaw. I saw that. My
Speak of
stone
this
is
again.
gone.
What?
It's gone, and we need to
What
talk with the
happened to the pretty
professor.
Yule?
I don't know. So I'm trying to round up everybody
Did
so
someone
we can
steal it?
talk.
Is it
No.
stolen?
It quite
Then I-
literally disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm trying to round everybody up so we can go talk to the professor and we can figure out what it was, where it went, and what's happening.
Okay, I'm grabbing your arm and we're walking. I have no idea if I'm going the right direction. I'm just picking a direction and I'm walking and I'm dragging you with me if I have to. The most beautiful, one of the most beautiful gems I've ever seen has disappeared. We need to get to the bottom of this crime.
And at that point, I will greet Zakaria politely. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Much has unfolded since we have parted. The stone is gone. It has disappeared. So I'm rounding everybody up so we can go speak to the professor and get to the bottom of this.
That seems like a wise idea.
Got 2 out of 3 of y'all. We just need to go find Greet.
Great. You are currently gliding through the air. And what would you like to do as you enjoy a bit of freedom?
Honestly, Greet would be gliding for a little bit, and then he'd be making a beeline for the kitchens to try and see if he can pilfer some food.
Okay, you make your way to the sort of cafeteria. You can see some people being served with all manner of food from all over the plains. Roll me stealth.
18 on the dice, and what do I have as a stealth? 24.
You will see an open window towards the kitchens, which you are able to slip through unheard and unseen. You kind of make your way in, and you see a fresh plate of what looks to be some kind of pie.
I'm going to grab like 6 of them and then try and sneak back out the window I came in through.
Roll me another stealth.
Dirty 20.
You are able to successfully make your way out the window. And Zakaria, as you are searching for Grace, you will see him sort of carrying 6 pies.
There in the sky with the pie.
Oh my god.
Please stop. Come here. That's what I'm gonna call out to him.
I'm going to glide down and Zakaria, it's good to see you. Well, I was worried about you.
We need your help. We need to go talk to the professor. The stone is gone. Much has happened.
The
Please
humming
come
stone?
with. Huh?
Yes, the vibrating stone has disappeared
Poof.
apparently.
Disappeared.
Very well.
All right. Now that we're all grouped together, we are going to go to the professor and talk to him.
And it will not take you long at all to make your way back to Professor Drell's classroom, where you will see him marking some kind of exam papers.
Professor Jail, I am back and I brought those witnesses so we can tell the story and figure out what's happening.
Very well. And he will sort of beckon you all in. Tell it to me from the beginning, after I left you in the infirmary.
I was kind of unconscious at that part, so I'm just gonna gesture to the three of them and motion for one of them to start speaking.
Greet's going to dive straight into it with, as being as succinct and, as medically descriptive as possible. And so, about 15 minutes after you left, I started to notice this shaking coming from Zakaria's bag. Initially, I was just going to leave it, but it seemed to increase in intensity, and I started to get worried that whatever was in the bag might be the cause of what was wrong. So, trying to expedite figuring out the solution, I opened the bag, found the stone. Iron Hooves over there was a little concerned about me going through the bag, but I was just trying to make sure we got the correct medical treatment for Zakaria as quickly as possible. So I went and found the can never remember his name, the professor who runs the medical ward.
The doctor.
Ominous, but moving forward.
I don't think any of us got the doctor's name. He's just the doctor at this point.
Doctor
So
who?
I got the doctor. The doctor
Fuck,
came
there
in.
it is. There it fucking is. Who was it? Was it Seb?
It was me.
You fucking piece of shit.
No, but
Oh
we
my
I watched
we weren't
I
given a
feel like I
name!
watched every single person's brain tick over to that and just one by one go, no, I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. Fucking Seb.
I was waiting if someone else was going to say it.
But yeah, so I got the doctor, took the doctor back to Zakaria's room, and took this large rock which appeared to be some kind of semi-precious stone or precious stone. I've got no idea.
It was the most beautiful topaz I have ever seen. It was cut in such an immaculate way. You should have seen it. Oh, nary a gem have I seen a dwarven craftsman make that could match this beauty.
Anyway, so
Sorry.
apparently it was a topaz. The doctor took one look at the topaz, put the topaz back in Zakaria's hand. It stopped vibrating at that point, and a little bit after that, I went to go to my individual classes.
And after that,
And I was walking to my class. After, I regained consciousness, the vibrations had stopped. It cracked. And then it cracked again. And then it flashed, and I was blinded, and then it was gone.
Knowing the dwarf's seeming affinity for this topaz, I'm going to look to it to see what the reaction was at the words, the gemstone cracked.
Oh, he visibly flinches.
And
okay.
that's where we're at now.
Well, the best I can offer at this time is I will personally conduct a few experiments to see if any magic was used, if you can direct me to the area. And I am sorry that such a valuable was lost. However, if I am unable to find anything, unfortunately, I can't go around accusing students of stealing without proof.
I'll show you the corridor where it happened.
Do you have any suspects on who would
I
want to steal from you?
don't know. I don't know that it was stolen. Like it all happened so fast, and there was nobody like running away. Like I don't. It's just gone. Like I think it just disappeared.
Stones do not walk.
Hmm.
I felt like it was still in my hand when it wasn't. Like when the flash was gone, I could see again. I thought I still had it, and then I looked down and it wasn't there, and then it did not feel like it was there anymore. So I don't think it was stolen. I think it just disappeared.
I will do what I can. Show me.
All right. Then I'm going to walk him over to where it happened.
Okay. He'll sort of go over and he will start going through and inspecting the area initially. Okay. I'll see what I can do. You should all go get something to eat before your detention later. Greet, you will be joining them for detention.
Wait, what did I do?
I assume you're still holding the pie.
I've not been told that he isn't.
No, I'm still holding the pies, but I'm still going to act as though I haven't done anything wrong and like, what did I do?
Just holding 6 pies? Like, what do you mean?
I didn't see a sign
No.
that said take only one, please.
Drael will just point at the 6 pies in your hand. Those are not sliced, they're always served sliced.
It's gonna fine.
You will all be going into the dungeons at midnight, if I'm correct.
Any idea what we might be doing in the dungeons?
Hopefully we're just gonna like maybe sweep up some stuff, you know, just give it a good clean.
For being late, you'll be offered a light punishment. You'll just be dealing with some of the undead.
Well,
Will we
that's
be
easy enough.
equipped, or will we need to acquire our own equipment?
You have always been told that you are given your initial school gear, and you are given your allowance.
Very well.
Wait,
May one inquire
gotta-
where one might
we gotta find a
find
student store.
equipment?
I'm sure you can find a blacksmith down in the town, a couple miles away.
Very well. How long do we have? How long is it until midnight?
You have about 7 hours.
See, how long does it take to go to the town?
By foot, maybe an hour.
Hmm.
An hour there,
Well-
an hour back. 5 hours to spare. I don't see an issue with this.
All right. So
I'm going to look between the other three and then look at the sheer amount of pie I've got on me and go, so, shall we eat and walk at the same time? And offer them
Aye.
each a pie.
I will not be
Just
taking one of
make
those.
sure, just make sure you're not late. I'd hate for you all to die to the devils.
Aye. I will stuff my face into the pie.
Didn't hear the centaur's response about the pie.
Oh, the centaur just said, "I will not be taking one of those."
Yeah, I'm gonna make a pit stop at the cafeteria and get some proper food before we embark on the town.
Kind of pies are they?
They are wild berry pie.
Mm, they're not my mom's meat pies, but these work.
Okay. You make your way to the cafeteria, Zakaria, and you see that there is a plethora of food on display. Everything from fresh steak to salads, anything you could possibly want, you'll probably find it here.
I would like to point out that I did go with Zakaria.
That's fine.
And some very confused kitchen stuff.
Yeah, you can see that one of the bakers is currently being yelled at.
Damn it, Dave! We talked about this.
Like load up a plate of like high protein, like good for energy. Also, can I like heal at all from my psychic damage since I went to the infirmary, or am I still just like damaged?
You've still got that psychic damage.
Okay. Just was wondering. But yeah, so I'm just gonna load up on like some good like protein food and take it to go, and I don't know, wait for Pony Boy.
That'll be 2 silver.
Who's silver? What's the conversion rate?
10 for 1. Going
Okay,
up.
because I have 55 gold. I'm gonna just slap a gold piece in their hand. Change, please.
They will give you 8 silver.
Nice.
Alright. And you go and you begin your meal. Sverkr, what are you doing with a mouthful of pie?
I'm eating pie.
Okay.
What else would one do with a mouthful of pie?
I thought you were walking and eating, so I wanted to know where you were walking.
I have a pie in my face. I don't know where I'm walking.
Fair enough. Greet, where have you gone?
I'm eating the pie and heading towards this town. The sooner I get supplies, the sooner I can get back here.
I would assume I'm trying to follow him, but I said pie in the face.
Alright. You two make your way down the part of town, and you guys don't really come across much. The sun is setting. You know that obviously it's dangerous to travel at night with the monsters out and about. Centaur and Zakaria, once you've finished eating, I assume you also begin making your way down.
Yes.
Okay. Both of you roll me perception.
Wait, what is that? Okay. Ugh, come on. That's my good one as well. That's 11. Ugh. Please roll better than me.
Come on, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Come on, what is it? Oh no. Oh no. My rolls go so slow, it like keeps me in suspense every time.
15.
Ooh, okay. 15.
You can hear the cries of a distant goat.
Oh, we're all fucked.
They
Goat.
sound It sounds injured.
I don't care about the goat. I'm just gonna keep going to the town.
Yeah.
I don't want to investigate.
What if the goat has some super high level magical gear?
Don't want to investigate. I just want to
What?
keep going to the town.
All
What
right.
if the goat has a wand of
Zver-
wonders?
Sverkr and Greet, when you get to town, what are you gonna do?
I will immediately try and find this blacksmith I heard about.
It's not too hard to find. The blacksmith is kind of in the center of town, so you can see the smoke of the forge. It's clear that like he's beginning to close up shop for the day, but you make your way over. He's this big burly man with a clean shaven head. Ah, some of the new students from the Adventuring Academy, I see. Robes
Oh,
aren't
the
tattered, so you
blacksmith.
can't be there long. What can I do for you?
Well, I can't speak for my friend here, but I'm looking for well, whatever armor and some kind of weapon, preferably some kind of big warhammer or battle axe, whatever 50 gold can get me. Preferably less than that, but if needs be,
50 gold, eh?
if needs be. I would
I
like to know what it could get me.
It could get you a lot for the right price.
So,
I could get you. I've got this fresh set of chainmail. I've got a great axe I could sell you. Hmm. Let's give it a go, and it'll kind of give you this sort of chainmail to sort of put on and try.
it's going to does it fit?
It does fit with a little bit of tempering, absolutely.
Okay. And how much did you say how much it was for?
No,
How much?
he'll give you the battle axe as well to give a couple swings.
Hmm. I will try swinging it.
Roll me strength.
It's gonna go one of two ways. 17.
Yeah, it feels good. You shift your weight with it well. It feels like a very well made axe, at least for a human.
Yeah, I was about to say, as I am swinging it, I am also very tentatively eyeing it, like, investigating to see, okay, what is the make of this? Is this decent? Is he trying to cheat me?
For both of those, 10 gold.
I'm going to nod. Half, like, try and hide my embarrassment by that I attempted to overpay. And I will kind of look around. You don't happen to have any extra smith tools? Any you're not using of good enough quality?
I could give you my spares, an extra 2 gold.
May I see these spares?
He gives them. He hands them over. They look like decent tools. You could definitely do something with them.
Okay, I would like to properly investigate them to make sure that, like, to figure out exactly, like, how well taken care of they've been.
They're fairly new. They haven't seen much work.
Hmm.
They are the spare.
Is going to nod his head. That might do. That might do.
Alright, that'll be 12 gold total.
I'm going to hand over 12 gold.
You kind of take them, have a look at them. Well, good luck.
It's going to nod his head. And to you. He's going to walk out, and he's going to just kind of suddenly like, kind of rub his throat, like, that is difficult.
Angry, what are you up to?
While he was doing his transaction, I would have been looking around and basically looking at the, various swords and stuff. Basically, once Sverkr's done, I'm going to wander up and just go. I'm just after some leathers and a decent scimitar, if you have one. Maybe a shield, but that's not necessary.
Do that for you? I certainly could. Let's have a think. Leathers. Yep, I've got plenty of those. We'd have to make some slight adjustments to match your body, but that should be fine. Shield, easy enough, can do. And a scimitar, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got 1 or 2 left in stock. So he will sort of bring over this leather armor, he'll put it on you, and he'll begin taking measurements and making small cuts here and there so that you can still use your membrane in flight. And then he will hand you a shield, a sort of wooden shield with iron in the center and around the rim to hold its shape, as well as a nice scimitar. And would you roll me dex?
16.
It feels good. You're able to wield it. You're able to sort of do a couple movements in the air with it, and with the shield as well, you're still mobile enough to make it all work. Right, for all of that, I'd probably charge you about 9 gold.
And I'll just hand it over and thank you. These will come in quite handy, and I'm sure they will serve me well.
Been a pleasure. Hope you don't die in the dungeons.
I'm just going to look up at him at that comment and go, that obvious, huh?
You're clearly a first year with those robes. And most first years come on the first day to me because they've got detention, which means you're going to be killing something tonight.
And I'm just going to nod to him and fair enough, and take my wares and head back out.
I hope it's not the Cerberus. And it's at this point that Zakaria and the Centaur will have made their way to town.
I too want to try and catch the blacksmith before he closes up.
Yep, you're able to get there just as you've seen Sverkr and Greek walking away from it. You're able to make your way up there.
Yeah, like, I was about to say, Sverkr would basically be not right outside, but like nearby, like kind of practicing, like swinging his battle axe. Not in like a way that someone in town would just look at him and go, a maniac swinging an axe around, but make it look like he's just practice swinging, training. Not like I'm just swinging for the fun of it.
Absolutely. Zakaria, you head inside.
I will follow.
Oh, how many of you are getting yourselves in trouble on the first day? 1 or 2, I expect, but you're the third one I've seen.
As far as I'm aware, there's at least 4. But you are right. I'm here.
Please tell me it's not the goblin again.
I'm in search of armor and weapons.
What are you looking for? And then he'll kind of look as this centaur tries to get in the house. Malachi, your character will hit their head on the door frame. Whoa, what?
Yes.
What? You. What? Okay.
I'm just going
I-
to stand back here.
Yeah.
You
You
come
do
out
that.
to me when
What?
you're free.
What? Huh? Huh?
It's okay.
What?
I get that a lot. It's
We get you guys around here?
not commonly, no.
Clearly, the places are built for horses. Please,
I'll be over here.
yeah.
And I'll politely back
Mm.
up and sort of.
You know, horse armor does typically cost more than regular armor. Just saying.
I don't require armor. Don't worry.
Good, cool, yeah. I don't even know where to start with that. Okay, Tieflin, what do you need? Oh god.
Maybe like a breastplate or some leather, sir.
I can get you either. I can get you plate mail. I can get you leather. You know, what are we thinking? Something heavier or lighter?
let's go lighter. So probably leather, right?
Leather. Yep, can do. And what kind of weapons are you looking for, Missy? As he goes sort of digging around.
Oh God, what kind of weapons? Maybe a dagger.
Do that easy.
Possibly a crossbow.
I assume you're gonna want bolts with that.
Yes.
How many are you looking for?
10?
10 bolts. Okay, so that will be a dagger and the armor, and then the crossbow on top of that. So I would say that would be 11 gold and 6 silver for the lot.
Okay, I'll hand that over. Alright, 11 gold and 6 silver has
Actually,
been
have to do
handed
some math
over.
there. Oh god. Yeah, and he will hand you over all your equipment.
Leather dart. And then what kind of crossbow do you want me to add?
You can add a light crossbow.
Light one? Okay.
Hang on. Out of curiosity, didn't you say earlier you were a sorcerer?
Yes. Why?
I'm assuming a sorcerer is very similar to a wizard in the armor category, right?
And
In
that I
that
have
no
proficiency in
proficiencies
armor?
whatsoever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Zephyr, what's the ruling on that? Actually, wait. I'm gonna look up the ruling on that.
Look, you want leather armor, I'm gonna give you leather armor. If you're not good with it, that's on you.
Yeah, I get that. Um, uh, anyone can pursue armor or strap a shield on an arm. Only those proficient in the armor's use know how to wear it effectively. However, your class gives you proficiency with certain types of armor. If you wear armor that you lack proficiency with, you have disadvantage on any ability check, saving throw, or attack roll that involves strength or dexterity. And you can't cast spells.
If I'm wearing leather, I can't cast spells.
Yep.
If you're not
Ooh, then I
proficient with the
don't
armor.
want leather. What do I want then?
To
If
hide
you-
at the
well-
back.
Yeah. If you don't have armor proficiency, then yeah, you don't want to be wearing armor per se.
Okay, then I don't want to buy.
She-
I don't want to buy the armor then.
All right, then it will just be 3 gold and 6 silver.
Okay. And then
I'm so sorry.
my
You're fine.
what's 11? Minus 3 is 8. I added the crossbow and the dagger, and then what is it called for what goes inside of
10
it?
bolts. 10 bolts.
Bolts?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I'm done.
All right. And then you'll see him take like a very heavy breath. Okay. Right. How can I help you, Mr.
Centaur's fine. I'm just wondering if you have any either fighting sticks or a quarterstaff. Maybe I'm not really sure.
I've got spears by the dozen, if you need one of those.
Not really my particular.
Quarterstaff. I could do, but I've only got one left, so it's gonna be a bit more on the expensive side.
That's how much?
6 gold.
Done. Just a quarterstaff will do me just
Alright.
fine, I think.
He will hand it to you.
And I will hand him 6 gold.
Okay.
Apologies for the fright earlier, by the way.
Yeah. 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 Good luck tonight. I if you live, come see me again, I guess.
I'm
Huh.
certain that we will.
Good. Yeah, good. Good.
Have a good night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you too. Knock him dead. Literally. Oh, my wife's not gonna believe this.
I'm gonna start like slowly walking off before a commotion starts.
Alright.
What
And
did I get?
the
A
group,
quarterstaff.
yeah, you got a core stuff.
Yeah.
And the 4 of you are reunited. What would you like to do now?
Does this chainmail make me look fat?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
That looked like I was asking you.
We're still in the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to see if there's a place that we can buy potions.
There's a general store that might.
Are they still open?
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see if the general store is still open.
As you go to open the door, it is like they are still open, but again, he's clearly getting ready to close. Like, okay, new face. You don't know the closing times. That's okay. Welcome in.
So sorry. I was just do you happen to sell potions?
I have a couple. They're not very special, but what are you looking for?
Possibly a healing potion or two?
I've got a couple of those about. Yeah, sure.
Okay. How much?
Uh, new face. I'll say 20 gold a bottle.
2 gold a bottle.
And I've got 3 here.
Take 1.
Okay. He'll sort of pull it up, put it on the counter for you. And, right, that'll be 20 gold.
And I'll hand him the 20 gold. And I'll put it in my bag.
Pleasure doing business, Initiate.
Zeph,
Yeah.
as she's originally leaving to go to the store, could I
Okay.
try to sort of head out a ways and hide, basically, so that not too much of a commotion is caused by my presence?
Roll stealth.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay. Greet and Sverkr.
Yes.
The centaur's gone. He's just gone. You know
Please.
where? He's just gone.
Please tell me you saw where the centaur went. Great. Please tell me you're still here.
I'm just going to. Don't worry, if we hear him scream, we'll know where he is soon enough.
Okay. Will he scream a person scream or a horse scream?
Oh, I want to kick him.
How many of you?
Zakaria, you make your way outside, and they've lost your centaur.
Hey, Sverkr is very pointedly looking around, looking mildly perturbed.
Y'all lost my centaur?
Be fair, we didn't lose him, he vanished. Kind of like your stone. Perhaps he was the thief.
Of his own volition?
Or the thief stole him too.
Well, I'm sure we would have heard sounds of a scuffle, because I doubt he would have went willingly if he was taken.
Depends, they might have offered him something he really wanted.
Are we sure he didn't just start heading back to
Platinum
campus?
horseshoes? He's here to study like the rest of us. He's interested in the school.
I was
Uh,
more thinking
are
about an
we
apple.
sure?
Horses like
Are we
apples,
sure
right?
he didn't just go to campus?
Zeph,
He
I'm
might
gonna
have just
send you
wanted
a
to get a head
message.
start.
Yeah, sure.
I want to look around to see if there's any centaur hoof tracks.
Did Sverkr literally say maybe an apple? I hear horses like apples.
Yes. Like, here's the thing. Sverkr, he's lived underground for basically all of his life. He knows very little about the creatures that predominantly live above ground.
I'm just going to quietly mutter under my breath, maybe healing spells don't do anything for concussions.
Please, as if I could get a concussion.
Everybody roll perception.
Oh boy.
Is that
Question:
Is that by 3 or by 4?
has the sun set?
Yes.
Okay,
It wouldn't
fabulous.
matter anyway because it's hearing.
23.
Malachi, that's you as well. That's everybody.
Yeah, that's
19.
yeah. Also 19.
Oh.
And apparently D&D Beyond is still processing.
Have a 19!
19 gang!
You hear a woman screaming.
Oh god, so we heard the
Where?
goat cry and we heard a
What
woman
kind of
screaming.
scream?
Like, oh my god, I need help screaming from the edge of town.
Oh, so not a pleasurable scream.
They're not fucking.
I was
I'm
more
going to
thinking,
take
is
off in
it
that
like
direction.
the... I was more going to ask, is it the help, a murderer is chasing me scream, or is it I've lost track of a spider scream? Those are two very different screams, but both are equally panicking.
They. You hear a scream, that's all I got for you. I can't give you anything more.
Alright, I'm running in the direction of the scream.
There's the theatre kid who should know the difference between the screams.
How?
Yeah,
okay,
I know the
I want
difference, but the
clarification
question is,
first.
I can't give you any more.
I want
Yes.
clarification first. How long until we have to be at detention?
Sunset is at 6. So with the sunset, it's past 6. You need to be there at midnight.
Right.
So we have about 6
Okay,
hours.
I will. Yeah, I'll bust out of my hiding space and begin.
Roughly the same moment as Greet is turning back to Zakaria and Sverkr and going, "Come on, you two, don't spare the horses."
And I will simply ride past and go, it's okay, I'm certain they won't.
I can
And
guarantee that I'm the
barrel on past
slowest one here.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Like, here's the thing. I'm a dwarf. I have a movement speed of 25.
Oh
Yeah, and I believe
Even if
the
I got a head
centaur has a
start-
movement speed of 40.
Yeah, like even if I got a head start, all of you would just be passing me. It's like in Return of the King when Merry and Pippin are, running, and then the entire army just overtakes them. That is how I
Speaking of
imagine
which-
this going.
I'm fucking light as shit.
Oh,
Zeph,
Yeah.
would you say it's an acrobatics check to try and jump and land on the centaur's back?
At any notion of something landing on my back, it is getting fucking bucked.
I
You
am
can
still going to
definitely
attempt it.
Fuck it, roll acrobatics.
Go for it. This'll hurt you a lot more than it hurts me.
19 on the dice.
Alright, you're able to land on the centaur's back. Roll dex save.
Do I need to roll anything?
Nope.
Okay.
At some point I'm going to roll a 1 and it's going to be terrible, but this is not that time.
What'd you get?
22.
I'm gonna say that no matter how much you try, Malachi, Greet is able to cling on to you.
Cool. I'm gonna elbow him in the head.
Roll
Because
to
I
hit.
can fucking turn around and do that shit.
Roll to hit.
That is... that's a dirty 20.
Yeah, even with my new AC, that technically hits.
Alright, roll for damage.
You take 7 points of damage, and here... Get the fuck off me.
Wait. I'm assuming that the dwarf tried to ride Ponyboy.
You assume wrong.
It was the
Oh.
monkey.
It was the monkey.
Oh.
The monkey just copped an
Great.
elbow to the head.
here's the thing. Sverker may have a bit of an, I wouldn't say ego per se, but stubborn dwarven pride issue. But he knows how painful it is to get kicked by a centaur.
As you all make it to the edge of town,
How much damage, by the way, Malika?
7
I
points.
believe 7.
Okay, I reduced that down to 2.
As you all make it to the edge of town, you see the woman who was screaming standing next to her husband in tears.
I'm assuming the husband isn't looking too great.
No. He looks like he's about to vomit.
Any other interesting details one might want to notify?
There is
notice
a
in the-
rancid smell.
Ah.
What seems to be the problem, miss?
They're all dead. They're all dead.
Who are
Is there
dead?
a house or anything nearby?
I mean, there's their house, like the farmhouse, but otherwise it's clear that this is like the farmers of the town, so they're a little bit on the edge.
Who's
Forgive me
dead?
for my insensitivity, but who is there?
Sorry, I would like
Livestock.
a quick clarification. Are you
Yeah.
still on my back?
No, I did hop off.
Good.
Livestock's dead round back. Got mauled by something.
Hmm.
Do you happen to own any goat?
No, but there's wild goats all over the area.
I'm going to head in the direction of the livestock to go investigate.
As
Zakaria,
you
what
go
does
around.
goats have to do with anything?
I may or may not have heard a goat screaming on my way into town, and I just kind of ignored it.
If surface goats are anything like subterranean goats, they do love screaming.
Yeah, but this wasn't a happy goat scream. This was a not good goat scream.
Well then, let's assume whatever is out there has paid a visit here then.
Reed, as you go around,
Mm-hmm.
you will see a whole sort of group of pigs, chickens, and all mauled. Chunks bitten and eaten out of them, their innards spewed across the farmland. Their deaths were quick. But whatever predator this was very hungry. And that's why we're gonna leave it for tonight.
You son of a...
That-
You're just reeling us in and then you got it.
That's
Gotta
not.
make sure you come back in
No.
2 weeks.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that seems about accurate. That's that par for what we get.
We really need a to be continued screen for these D&D. Just for, for once. And that's where we'll leave it there and then just...
Man, and now I'm hearing roundabout in my head.
Yeah.
I do know that one.
There you go. That was episode 1 of the Adventurers Academy. That's all I've got for you.
Interesting.
But congratulations on getting detention.
Now,
I mean,
I have a question.
you know.
I may have an answer.
No, it's not for you. Mahez,
Yes?
have you learned a valuable lesson?
No, of course not.
Okay. That's good, because the next one's gonna hit so much fucking harder, I promise.
Sverkr has learned a valuable lesson. He learned it twice, even.